Hi guys, welcome. So this time I'm going to go over the Make Static tool for QwaPA. So first up, to be able to use Make Static to start with, it's not available straight away. Make your way to your chemistry workbench, go down to utility, craft your Make Static tool. Okay, so how to use Make Static. So when you target an object, you will get take and QwaPA select. So if you press square for QwaPA select, that selects that object. Then go into your Pip-Boy, go over to inventory, and then over to miscellaneous, and there you will find your Make Static option. So we've already selected that other object, so we'll press X on Make Static, and now that object is static. Alright, so we'll cover one annoyance a lot of people have been coming across and show you how to avoid that. So there've been a lot of complaints that when people go to make an object static, that it tilts off from the position that they wanted it to be. The reason for that is when you're holding it. It only occurs when you're holding it. So we'll QwaPA select that, I'll pick the object up, I'll hold it, and now when I go to make it static, it kicks up on an angle. So basically, don't make objects static while you're holding them. You're only creating yourself a bit of a nightmare there. You're better off just picking up the object, put it how you like it. If you feel like you need to make angles on things like that, use props. Find something that's relative to the angle that you're going to want it on, and then put it on that and make it static. Okay, so I'll just show you here. We'll QwaPA select, make static. Now because I wasn't holding that, it's remained in the exact same spot. Okay, so this is probably the quickest way to have a bit of a natural sort of placement of objects. Press square, make static, and so you can keep doing that and go along and fill up your whole shelf. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. That's the quick, easy method. So another problem people coming across is their place anywhere tool doesn't work, and when they want to correct something, they can't, and I'll explain why. So the place anywhere post relies on objects to be registered to the workbench, and when you just drop objects out of your inventory onto the ground, they aren't registered to the workbench yet. So when you go to select something, the post is going to want to find the closest thing that's registered to the workbench. So how do we get around that? To register stuff to the workbench, you need to pick them up and place them. Okay, so now when we go to use the place anywhere post, it'll now pick up that object. Okay, so the correct process to do this is drop all the objects that you're going to want to use first, then go around and register them, and then tilt them. Because what happens if you make an object static first on a set angle, and then you find that you want to use place anywhere on it, when you select the object to register it, it will default back to its normal placement position. Now this is because it's not registered to the workbench yet. Okay, so I'll just show you this here now. If we grab this, you can see I'm rotating one way there. If you click in your L3 button, which is your left thumbstick control, every time I click it, it will rotate on a different axis. So there's 3 different axes there that you can toggle through. So use that to get an object roughly onto the angle that you want to have it on. QwaPA select, we'll make it static. Okay, so now say I want to correct that object, that's not how I want it. So now, because that object's registered to the workbench, I can now pick it up. So for those of you who haven't watched my Place Anywhere tutorial yet, the way the Place Anywhere tool works is it wants to find the center of the closest object. Has nothing to do with your post being on top of an object. So for example here, when I place the post, it's closer to the center of the bottom of the barrel than it is the floor. So keep that in mind. And so when it comes to decorating the shelves, you want to start at the bottom and work your way up. Every time you do Place Anywhere, you're going to want your post above the objects, and the reason for that is you put it on the ground. It's not going to find the objects before it finds the shelf. So you'll have to have the post above all the time. Alright, and so for the canister, we know that if I have it over here, I'm guaranteed that that's going to be closer to the center of that. And if I was to have that over here, it's now going to grab that one. So that's for adjustment. Also, any objects in your inventory this works for, so you might want to put a sword in a body or something like that, for whatever purpose. Exact same process for anything that's in your inventory. Drop it from your inventory, go into workshop mode, register it, get it onto the angle that you want roughly, and then use your Place Anywhere post to get it into place. Okay, so another trick that I use, now this is to do with tilting. I will do a more advanced tutorial on tilting for the next video. So this is just purely to show you an easy way to make clutter placement for objects that are already static, that we don't have in our inventory already. So some of those objects are found in USO. So we'll make our way to decorations, themes, and we'll go to library. Just waiting for it to load. Alright, so these library books in here are a common thing people like to place. So this is a quick, easy way to get some natural placement going on these. And again, referring back to my other video, when you select an object and then let it go, when you bring the object out of the inventory, it will be the exact same orientation of that object. And this also applies for tilting. So when I tilt this book to that Abraxo, having it out on this angle there will make the book come out into that position as well. Okay, so we'll exit, go pick up the Abraxo, find where you want it, put your Abraxo roughly where you're going to want the book. So say I want the book tilted on an angle there like that. So QwaPA select the Abraxo, go into your workshop and make your way back to your special menu and go get your general selector post. So this is the post that we use for tilting, and this works exactly the same as the Place Anywhere post in the way that it will target the closest object that it can find the center for. And again, if you want to know more about that, go watch my Place Anywhere video for QwaPA. Alright, so now that post has selected that book there. We've already QwaPA selected that, and that is the target destination for the tilt to be made. So just go over to the general selector post, press X, and now the book will be over here. So I haven't made the Abraxo static for a reason. That's because I'm just using it as a tool and I can keep reusing it. So let's say I want a slightly different angle for that one there. So we've already registered that before. You don't have to keep re-registering the target destination for stuff. But what we do need to do is change what this post is registered to, because the last object it was registered to will be the object that's been tilted every time you initiate the post. So we'll grab this post, place it next to the book, exit, we'll now make the tilt, and that'll go onto the angle that we've got there. And so because you do have that freedom of using the place anywhere post on these books straight up, or even if it's an object like the Abraxo that was in the menu, because that book's slightly in there, we can use the place anywhere post to move that over and adjust it. So I'll just show you what I was talking about before. That book is registered to that post still, and it will remain that way. And because I haven't selected anything else, that Abraxo remains as the target destination for it. So you can just keep moving things around. Just go back to the post. I mean, and that's handy because you might find that you've got an object in somewhere and you can't get it out, and so in that case you can just go up to another object if you like, if you can't get hold of the other object, and bring it back. Okay, so that's about it really for Make Static. It's a much easier way and quicker way to have that bit more of a natural sort of placement, and if you want a messy placement or whatever, that's a really quick process to get yourself objects around the place that settlers aren't gonna mess about. Yeah, and have that non-OCD look placement. So one thing people were doing was trying to use the tilt tools to set everything up, because they got sick of Make Static because they were jumping out of place. So hopefully that covers that for you. Using the tilt tools for every single item placement is just insane. It's going to take you a very long time. Yeah, so that's about it from me, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video.